Hey guys, Jay Hoyt here. Before we get into today's video, we've been telling you guys for the longest time, and due to the recent subscribers and all the new people coming into the channel, I feel like it's working. So let's keep it going. Let's tell you guys that every single time you guys subscribe, it makes me happy, right? You guys coming in, you're hitting the subscribe button, you're turning on those post notifications, right? You're never missing an upload, and don't forget, you could always change your mind later. But we got a great one for you today. We're jumping back to Call of Duty. What's going on, guys? Jay Hoyt back with you. Today we got a brand new video, and I think I did this a while ago, and I wanted to update it and obviously offer some different opinions. So as you can see on your screen, we have a tier list in front of us. So we have all of the Call of Duties, all of the main Call of Duties. I know there's some like side ones that weren't necessarily the main game, so we're ignoring all those. We just have all of the main Call of Duties, all the way back to the original Call of Duty, all the way up until the current one, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and we'll get right into it. So unfortunately, given that I started late in the Call of Duty franchise, I have to put 6 games already in the never played, right? So we have 6 tiers overall, mainly 5. We have a best game ever, really good, average, not so good, terrible, and then never played. So unfortunately, I started in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, which means Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty World at War, and Modern Warfare 2, I immediately have to put into never played. So I can't really give an honest opinion on those games if I've never played them. Now, since then, I may have touched Modern Warfare 2 or even World at War, but I don't remember playing any of the other Call of Duty since I think the first one came out in 2003, I believe. So that was how long ago? 18 years ago, something like that. So yeah, it's been a while, and I was very young at the time. So unfortunately, we gotta move all of those to the never played. So how I'm gonna rank these is how much I personally enjoyed playing them, right? If they had a competitive mode, obviously I'm gonna have to include that into it. I do play a lot of competitive, like league play, and I used to play, game battles and UMG and everything back in the day as well. But this is just personal opinion. I'm not going off, community or a poll or anything. I'm going off of how much I enjoyed playing the game, and obviously how much I grinded it because I liked it so much. So like I said, Black Ops 1 is going to be that first game nostalgia for me, right? I love that game. Even through the game after Modern Warfare 3, that's all I played was Black Ops 1, right? I was nasty with the FAMAS, the Galil, the Commando, the snipers. I don't think I really dabbled too much with the submachine guns, but definitely with the FAMAS and definitely the ARs. So, we're going to have more than one game up in the best game ever. But Black Ops, like I said, everyone has that starting game, and Black Ops 1 is that for me. And like I just mentioned with Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, I didn't really play. Like, I might have dabbled in it a little bit, tried it out here and there, but I don't think I really have enough of a judgment playing it to really give it a rating. So I'm actually going to put this one in never played, although I did play it, but not a lot. Like, probably less than 20 times in the entire year that it was out. So I'm going to put it down in there, and we're just going to leave those 7 games there. So the rest of them I've definitely played, a good majority of the year, and I can actually give a honest opinion on them. So Black Ops 2, right? Everyone thinks of it as the world's best Call of Duty. But unfortunately, back in the day, and I know this is going to hurt a lot of Call of Duty fans, it hurts me, right? Absolutely hurts me to say I actually got onto Black Ops 2 extremely late. And what I mean by that is I really love Black Ops 1 so much, and since I was still a kid in middle school, elementary school, or whatever it was when this all came out, that I was still playing Black Ops 1 through majority of Black Ops 2. I know, roast me in the comments. I understand your frustration. I really wanted to play that game. Like, I'm looking back at it now and I'm like, okay, it's the best Call of Duty ever, you know, in most people's opinions. And then I didn't really play it. So it hurts. But, you know, given what I did play of the game and just remembering league play and remembering how good that was, how many people were on grinding it all the time, obviously this has got to go up in best game ever. But like I said, I played Black Ops 1 so much that I literally missed out on, you know, 1.5 years or so. It's probably a little bit more than that, actually, of Call of Duty just because of Black Ops 1. But down to Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, Ghosts wasn't my favorite game. You know, a lot of the maps weren't great. You know, the competitive game modes were all right. I mean, Blitz was an interesting alternative to like CTF or you know, eventually like an uplink or you know, now we have Control. But you know, it was a very strange game mode. Like, I felt like there was always one side of the map, you know, most maps where you just everyone fights on, and then there's always like one player that's like, screw all those guys, I'm gonna go to the complete opposite side of the map, flank around, and just get that point. So Ghosts, I don't think it was terrible. It definitely could have been better. Really good. Best game ever? No. Really good? No. I'm trying to remember the maps in that game. Like, I know Strike Zone was pretty fun just to kind of run around with subs. The Vector was super overpowered. I know the, was it the Remington? Or the, whatever the AR in that game was. That was kind of fun to use. I don't want to... Was it average in my opinion? I mean, there was a lot of problems with that game too. The lunge knife, the panic knife in that game was unreal. You could about 360 no-scope somebody with that knife. So I'm thinking between average and not so good. I'm going to put not so good, right? I mean, I did have fun playing that game. That was kind of the first real Call of Duty I started watching competitive in. So, you know, I probably would have put it at terrible if it wasn't that. But there's definitely a game that deserves to be in the terrible, and we'll get to that later on. But yeah, I didn't really like Ghost too much. You know, it was, you know, okay at the time, but a lot of problems with that game. Plus panic knifing, you know, definitely kind of ruined it for me. So, you know, a lot of people say Ghost had good S&D, but, you know, playing Domination, playing Blitz, you know, was not fun. So, but we'll move on though. Here comes the jetpack era. Now, personally, at the time, I kind of consider the jetpack era, you know, part of like the people that used to play Halo. They tried to get, you know, a lot of those fans to come over and, you know, and marvel into this new way of Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, arguably one of my favorite games of all time. Is it the best game ever? No. Was I the best at it? Not really. I was pretty good. But still, it's not the best game ever. I would put it probably above average. You know, a lot of people wouldn't put, you know, jetpack era games up so high, but I actually really enjoyed Advanced Warfare, right? After you mastered the movement and you played a lot, you could get really good with that game, right? The battle was a little bit overpowered, you know, until the ASM-1 came in, and then I don't remember what the sniper was in that game, but you know, Advanced Warfare, I really liked. You know, this was the first full game that I watched competitively. This, right, you know, end of Ghost, you know, start of Advanced Warfare was when I started watching competitive, right? That's when I found Optic. You know, that's when I started, you know, following those guys and supporting those guys. So, you know, I really liked Advanced Warfare. I definitely, yeah, it's not up in best game ever, but it's sure close, and we'll put it right in really good. Next game there is Black Ops 3, and obviously coming off Black Ops 2, how could you make that even better? Well, people say it's the biggest fail from the next Black Ops game because of the advanced movement, because of the wall running. You know, in Advanced Warfare, you didn't have any wall running, you just had the double jumps and the exosuits, and in Black Ops 3, you now add specialists and you add wall running. So, you know, obviously this was a huge, you know, learning curve. I personally liked Black Ops 3, but also it had a lot of problems, right? A lot of people did not like the specialist. You know, personally, it was an interesting touch, but I don't think it was, you know, great for the scene, right? You know, after Advanced Warfare came out, a lot of people were really skeptical on it. But personally, though, you know, not putting any other people's opinion in it, I'm going to put it as really good, right? I really did enjoy this game. The M8 was disgusting. The, what was it, the VMP? Or am I thinking of something else? I think it was the VMP in that game. I feel like it was the VMP. Maybe I'm mistaken, but that was super fun. What was the sniper in that game? I don't remember what the sniper was. Either way, fun game. I really enjoyed it. That's actually when I met Ben for the first time ever, was when we were trying to create a team and play competitively and play in tournaments. So Black Ops 3 obviously will have a big nostalgia factor that I found, one of my friends, for the past, I don't even know how long it's been now, but it's been a long time that I've been playing with Ben, and obviously I credit. I think it was actually, was it Advanced Warfare 2? I don't remember. I think it was Black Ops 3 though, where I actually found him. But yeah, we've obviously been really good friends from then, and obviously he doesn't live anywhere close to me, which is kind of unfortunate. But Black Ops 3 will always be one of my favorite games as well. So we have a pretty good, solid top 4. We have Ghost down there, obviously a whole bunch in the never played, but Infinite Warfare. Now this is where it's gonna get a little weird, right? We always, in the current Call of Duty, right, in Cold War, we always look back and be like, oh, this game's the best game because of this or that. But in the moment, you obviously are always frustrated with the dumb stuff and trying to figure out what's their favorite part of this game or whatever. Infinite Warfare, I probably made a huge mistake with this game. And what I mean by that is I played the entire year, except for the last couple months of the year, with a broken controller. And I didn't really get to enjoy this game as much as I could. Ben didn't really play this game a lot. So we had, I think, was this when Fortnite was really blowing up? It might have been. But I personally didn't mind Infinite Warfare. Right? What was the sub in that game? Oh, that's right. It was the ERAD, I think. Right? It was that game that had that. The ERAD. It didn't really get used until the end of the game. And then the K-Bar was probably one of my favorite. The K-Bar I actually really enjoyed. Was the NV4 as well. I really enjoyed. And then sniping that game I think was pretty good as well, if I remember correctly. But Infinite Warfare, like I said, I personally enjoyed. This is also when I started making montages back then. They weren't crazy, crazy edits, but they were still fun to make for me, and I really enjoyed it. So I think I actually made them, was it back to AW or was it Black Ops 3? It was one of those 3 games where I actually started making them. But Infinite Warfare, I actually had a really good time playing it. I really wish I could revisit that game with a working controller. And I don't remember what the issue was, but something on my controller just wasn't working correctly. And it just made it so it wasn't, super fun. So, but I'm going to put it average, right? I don't think it's really good. I don't think it's, not so good or terrible. But personally, I had a really fun time playing that game. And, obviously going back to, I think this was 2017 when Optic Gaming won the Call of Duty Championship on, a lot of people's, arguably worst game ever. But personally, I enjoyed it. I had a lot of good moments on that game. I definitely enjoyed the K-Bar, the NV4, and, the maps weren't completely terrible, but there was obviously a lot of problems with the jetpack games, given that people like to abuse different parts of the game. But you know what, I'm gonna put it as average, right? I'm gonna stay strong to my opinion, and we're gonna leave it there. Next game, World War II. Now this one's weird, right? Because I've actually played a lot of World War II, and a lot of people got really bored with it really quick. But the biggest problem for me was that game was so bland. And what I mean by that is, you look at every single Black Ops game. You looked at Advanced Warfare. You looked at Infinite Warfare. You looked at, I can't say Ghosts, because that had really faded color to it. But you looked at World War II and you saw the most bland gameplay you've ever seen. I don't mean the actual way people play the game. I mean the maps, the guns, everything was just super bland and boring to watch. Now, if we want to then relate it to guns, the PPSH was pretty fun to use. The STG, if people remember that gun, I was actually pretty good with, so I did enjoy that. The BAR was pretty fun to use. I'm so glad they banned the FG42 in competitive play, because that was extremely boring to watch. And then I don't remember what the sniper was in that. Was it the car? Car 98? I don't remember what it was in that game, but I think this game gets a lot of flack. But also, you have to look at maps like London Docks, arguably one of my favorite maps, probably top 10 favorite map of all time. So, it's hard to put this game in terrible, but just because it was so bland and boring, I think I have to put it down here, right? It's gotta be. It's just tough because I want to enjoy all these Call of Duties, but a lot of them had a lot of problems as well. So, I'm trying to be as fair as I can, with myself, how much I did enjoy these games. But actually, one of my favorite montages was made on that game. Although there's a lot of like rookie mistakes and like, kind of weird clips. I really enjoyed making it, right? If you haven't seen it, go back in my montages. It's in my playlist and go watch the one. I don't remember. I think it's called like Old School or something. But it was really fun to make. So I enjoyed it. So let's move on to the next one. Black Ops 4. Now, this, when it gets to, the most recent Call of Duties. And personally, I never liked 5v5 for competitive or, league play or anything, because I thought there was just too many people, right? And even though that's one extra per team, it still created a lot of randomness. In this game also, people started, 4 or 3 or 4 hitting, one spot and just overwhelming one person. So that was kind of frustrating to watch. But Black Ops 4, I hated the SOG, right? I hated the like double attachments, if you want to call it that, like Stock 2 or Grip 2 or anything like that. But the one thing I loved about this game, and some people may disagree, is the predictive recoil. Now, what I mean by that, if you didn't play that game or if you don't recall what it is every gun had its individual recoil pattern. So that way you could take that gun and master it, right? Every other gun beforehand had a almost random recoil. And I actually really enjoyed that. Like the ICR, when it had Grip 2 and like FMJ or Quick Draw or whatever people use in that, or I don't think there was stock, but if you had a Grip 2, that gun didn't move, right? You could just put it there and it was a beam, right? Then also you had, the Maddox, I believe was in this game. I really enjoyed using that. Sometimes I looked like the best Maddox player in the world. Other times I was terrible. I could never find consistency with that gun, and then I couldn't really play fast enough with the ICR to enjoy that, and I absolutely hated the SOG. So I just tried to use the K-bar all the time and try to make it work. But overall, fun game. I did enjoy it. The stim shot thing was a very interesting addition. I didn't actually mind it, but I wish there was some small tweaks to it, and it could have been perfect. The way that they did that. Plus, this was honestly, maps weren't the greatest in this game, but maps like Arsenal would, some people would consider to be a good map, but I definitely enjoyed it. It's not terrible. It's better than not so good. I'm gonna put better than average. Do I think it's best game ever? I think I'll put it in really good, right? Like Black Ops 3, I really enjoyed my time playing. Same thing with Advanced Warfare. I really enjoyed my time playing, but there definitely was some moments where, I just didn't have fun with the game. And I just can't put it in best game ever, right? The nostalgia factor of Black Ops 1, right? And, obviously Black Ops 2 was a huge game, and I definitely enjoyed playing that, right? The MSMC, the M8, and everything that game had, was pretty good. Obviously, Cap 40s were kind of annoying, but, a lot of good things with that game. Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I hated this game, right? Every single Call of Duty video that I made on that, you could tell I hated this game, right? Slide canceling was the worst thing that they've not necessarily added to the game, but was a thing. And I could not stand that. What was the sub in this game? Oh, the MP5. These new attachments, the Field Agent, 726 grip, or in the Jungle Barrel 792, or I'm making stuff up, but that type of attachments I hated, right? The fact that one barrel could do more damage than the other, and then this one all of a sudden gives nerfs to certain things and slowed down other things and made some other stuff worse. I hated that game. Everything about it I hated. The map sucked. It was super bland and boring to watch. And plain simple, it sucked. I hated it. Then on to our current game, right? Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I don't mind it, but I also feel like there's a lot of inconsistencies, right? Especially with competitive play, right? Start of the game, they put the M4 and the MP5 as kind of the main two guns. obviously through nerfs and buffs and different patches that come out, every gun, changed a little bit and everything kind of switched up. So then all of a sudden the AK-74U became our main submachine gun, and eventually once they kind of GA'd the M4 and the AK-47, and I think they GA'd one more thing, but they got to the Krieg 6 or the Krieg or the Krieg 6, the Krieg 6, whatever you want to call it. It's a beam machine, right? And the other thing I don't like about this game, headshot multiplier. Now, yes, you should get a little bit more damage for the head, but not as much as it does. Because a lot of the time, some people melt you from across the map in 2 bullets. Like, it's not fun to watch, especially when you get absolutely melted. It's horrible. Plus, I don't remember what game introduced it, but assassinations need to go. They are so annoying. They're like, I get it. It's another fun thing that people want to mess around with, and if you're able to sneak up on somebody, you can do it. But I just don't think they should be part of the game, personally. But where would I rate this? I don't think it's terrible. It's not the best game ever. It's hard to say because, like, obviously, until we get to the next game, I'm not gonna have a full judgment because technically there's still. When's the next game coming out? In like October, November. So we still have, 3-4 months or something like that left. So, we still have a little bit of time for this game to come out. And the fact that we haven't had a lot of maps in this game, and the fact that we started with so little maps is a huge problem, right? The fact that they have to bring back, maps from Black Ops 2 and bring back maps from all these games to make it fun is a little like, okay, obviously, your game sucks if you have to bring back Raid and Standoff and Hijacked and whatever else they've brought back just to please people. So definitely not best game ever. It's not terrible. It's not really good. Do I want to put it in average? I mean, like I said, there's a lot of problems with this game, but there's also a lot of good to this game as well. Obviously the start of the CDL was, a couple of years prior. So I think the final place will be in average. Let's go back down through these games and kind of see if we're happy with where we put them. Let's start at the bottom though. Obviously we got never played Call of Duty, the original, Call of Duty 2, 3, 4, Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. The first 6 I had never played like at all until later on where it was just a little dabble in it. Modern Warfare 3, like I said, I played Black Ops 1, through the entire time. So I can't really judge on any of those games. I know a lot of people would kind of be mad about Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 because obviously those were 2 huge games in Call of Duty history and a lot of people's favorite games of Call of Duty history, but I just didn't play them, so obviously I can't really give them a rating. But in the terrible category, we have Modern Warfare, right? Some people liked it, some people hated it. Personally, I absolutely hated it, so I think that's a good spot for that one. And then not so good, Ghosts. Yeah, a lot of problems with that game. Didn't really enjoy it, and it just wasn't the greatest of games. World War II. You could almost make a case for this being up in average, but obviously the blandness of the game was really hard to watch, and there was just a lot of problems. But it did create a new aspect of the game though, with like those pre-made I don't know what you want to call them, like classes where what was it, like airborne, armored, and that type of stuff. That was very interesting, but obviously I prefer like the pick 10 system, so that's a big downfall to that game. So I feel like we're good in that not so good category. Like I said, you could move World War II maybe up to average, but I think that's where I'm going to keep it. But up in average though. Infinite Warfare, Cold War. Let's start with Cold War. I don't want to give a full, judgment on this just yet because there still is a lot of time to this game, and they could still, make a lot of things happen. Obviously, new DLC and new maps and updates and new and everything. So we still got some time on that. So for now, right, I'm not hating it. I'm not really loving it. So I'm gonna put it right in the middle. Infinite Warfare, like I said, I might have even put this up a little bit if I didn't play with a broken controller most of the game. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. Really good being Advanced Warfare, Black Ops, Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. I feel like that's pretty good, right? With the specialists in a couple of those games, and so basically I guess not the full jetpack era, but part of the jetpack era, all in really good, right? I truly did enjoy those games. Obviously there's a huge skill gap when you have to add movement into the game, and I feel like I was pretty good, majority of the time. So I think that's really, you know, good spot to put all the really good games. And then best games ever. I mean, Black Ops 1 was the huge nostalgia game for me. You know, realistically, it probably should be down in really good, if anything. But, you know, that was the game I started on. So, obviously, the nostalgia factor and, you know, how good I was at that game, you know, was a big buff to my rating for that. And then Black Ops 2, obviously, for what that did for the Call of Duty scene and for what I missed of it and, you know, the limited time that I did play it. You know, obviously, I missed out on a lot. So, I feel like I made a pretty good list here. Obviously, I know some people have played, you know, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, so they're going to have theirs on their list. But at least for myself personally, I never really played those games, so I can't put them in there. But, of course, let me know all of your tiers down below. Right, we have, I think it was 16 games all together. So you had Call of Duty, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty World at War. Then you had You had Call of Duty World at War, Modern Warfare 2. Then you had Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3. And then then Black Ops 2, Ghosts. And then we get into the Jetpack era with Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, World War 2. Then Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare, and then Cold War, I believe, was the order. So definitely was an interesting one. You know, obviously some of these games might be completely different for everyone else, but this is just my opinion. Hope you did enjoy, though. Let me know of your ratings down below in that comment section. As always, guys, if you did enjoy, hit that like button down below if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe, turn those post notifications on so you never miss an upload, and don't forget, you can always change your mind later. But with all that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
In the shadows.